Crime Queen. If you're joining us for the first time, this is the channel where we have fun with words and numbers, numerology to be precise. This is where we ignite that which dwells from within us, that which comes alive, makes us laugh, makes us smile. Hence we say the crimson light is life. Now, there's something that always makes us smile because I've just done the numerical value for the word food and it equals 22. I just want to double check that. So 22, let's see, that's 3 sixes are 18 and 4 is 22. 2 plus 2. Now that also is in direct relation or correlation. I like that relation with the word smile. Let's do this. Of course, the purpose for this is to continue our presentation or understanding on Genesis of chapter 1. Okay, but smile, S-M-I-L-E, which is miles. Now we need to get used to the words as well. When you see a smile, it ought to go miles down within you. Yes, whenever you see, whether they're smiling at you, but as long as you observe a smile, that's what it does to you. Okay, so that's 5, 3, 9, 4, 1. Okay, so that's 8 and 9 is 17, and 17 and 3 and 4 would be 21, and 1 would be 22. So 22. Now it also is in direct correlation with the word laugh. Now, I love this. It's one of my biggest aha moments on these presentations because laugh is that aha, when you get that aha moment. Of course, we have that which we ring on vibrations. You could actually see the rings of aha where they are so condensed and concentrated. They have a vibration. You could almost see it like as though you were in a tropical place and the heat, you could actually see the rise of the heat, so that's that aha. When we laugh, that's what happens within us. So there's the word Laugh. This is 7, no 8, 87313. I like that as well, where threes are two. It's all indicative of that vibration that I am talking about. So this is 8 plus 7 is 15, and 3, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So that's what we are talking about. Laugh. So when you hear about the master number 22, smile. We tend to miss the point of the messages that are around us. You have someone talking about Freemason and the master number 22, and we take the choice, or often make the choice, to go the other way with what meaning and messages that are presented to us. Each time we hear those, we hear something like Freemason or the master number 22, or even President Trump, who's got the 22. Is it his name or date of birth? He's got the 22 somewhere in his makeup. Just laugh. And isn't that what he really represents? Okay, I don't really want to say anymore, but I don't mean, well, that's exactly what I mean. It makes you laugh and smile. Don't miss the opportunity to vibrate on that frequency and add some sort of thank you notion to it, some kind of gratitude. Okay, so back to Genesis of chapter 1. Okay, that's what laughing does. Genesis chapter 1. Okay, in case you're new to this channel, this is Mother Eve, a representation of who we are in essence, and really it's the vibration of five, the five-pointed star. So what I have noticed with most of my presentations, I think perhaps all of them, have a reflection of Mother Eve. That means we are five. We are the five-pointed star. But this is not saying that we are not other numbers. We are all the numbers, because I also believe that according to this template, which is another depiction of Mother Eve, we are really 1 to 9. Now, this may not look like um, the most inviting vibration of word to really get ourselves involved in, like sacrifice. It may not seem to be the most attractive, that's the word I wanted to say, the word or essence to relate to. But if we pay attention, we will be able to understand the messages that this template really offers. And it really offers a beautiful message, I believe, which was all intuitively discovered. So, just to give you a little taste of what it's about, so it was around Easter time. I thought, okay, I was on my perhaps the second week of doing my presentations. I hadn't done that many, but I thought, oh, it's Easter time. I might as well do a presentation on Easter. And that was it. And there was the aha moments happening right there. This is what I mean. And then I realized that there was a divine intervention taking place through my presentations of why I ought to be doing those presentations. So here we have, this is where we are doing our jazz. This is where we do the bucket. So the jazz is, you could say, when Christ was recruiting his disciples and they having fun walking around. I will make you fishers of men if you follow me. And they probably were laughing while they go, oh, how are you going to do this? They got curious. How are you going to do this? And he said, well, watch me. Just listen. And they were sitting by the seaside, the shore, and people were listening and coming to them. And Christ performed his first miracle where his mother was the one who prompted him to perform this miracle at a wedding. And of course, mother equals 7, but it has that W vibration. This is what I'm talking about, the W. There's a W here, and the free is really a W. So the free is really that kind of vibration that forms an N. It forms a 3. It forms an E, a 3, and a W. So that was the first flower. The first flower had bloomed in that reception, and that's where people were drinking wine, and there was excess of bread left. I think it was there, but he performed wine. I love it. So there were baskets, and or whether it was another place he was preaching and the people were hungry, and there were loaves of bread and fish, of course. So, of course, people could see how lucky they were. This is luck. And there was a new birth of belief, a new birth of witnessing miracles, a new birth of direction. People didn't walk away empty. They were nourished, of course, with the free vibration. The free, number three, was that movement. You can imagine people who had witnessed that or were part of the crowd, they would be going home to their family and say, did you see that? Did you see that? Or did you hear about the story? I was there. Or weren't you there? And you can imagine what was going on. Of course, through that, some would have to come, well, do you think that was real? They would be questioning, and there would be a series of developments happening there. And of course, this is the other cycle of that vibration being ignited in the number 6, which we are. So the number 6, which we are, is that Adam, which is 1, and the Eve vibration, which is 5. Added together, 1 plus 5 is 6. We can see it here again. If we add 5 and 6 here, that would be 11. And we can see this is where the double U comes into play. This is where the 3 is also reflecting the double U. Okay, and this is where it's also said, when you're in Christ, you are a new creature. I like that. When you're in your mother's womb too, you are a new creature from when you were in your father's womb. Well, fathers. So you are new. Hey, so the idea of new is really the stages and function of development. The stages of the function and development. Well, I'm sure you understand what I mean. Of course, if you're watching this, you perhaps have worked this out even quicker than I have. Okay, so there we have the fox, and the fox is where, of course, you think, I've got it. You think I've got it, so I can make my own journey. I can make my own path. I want to know how you, of course, because that's what the disciples were asking Christ as well. Well, how did you heal him? How did you do that? And Christ was saying, I'll show you again. And there's that cycle. So they were healing people as well. They were performing miracles too. So this is where we go. Of course, 6 and 9 is 15. We could see how the conversion was taking place, the transformation was taking place. And that's the sort of thing. So people could go out, or the disciples, when he sent them out, maybe in twos or so, and they would have found a man with the pitcher of water, for instance. We read about that, I think, in Luke of chapter 20 or 11, thereabout. But Luke is also is a master number. Luke was in direct vibration with Jesus on that. Hence, that just reminds me, hence, it was with Luke, or in Luke, we could read this story. It perhaps is in the other stories as well, but in Luke, when he says, go to the city and find a man with the pitcher of water. This is where Luke and Christ, and Jesus rather, is on the same vibration. There are two 11s. Just to make sure that I've got this right, let's just see. Luke 5, 2, 3, 3. So there is 7 and 6. Of course. 7, yes, 5, 7 and 6. 3, 3 is 13. 12, 13. 13. Okay, so 13, of course, this makes sense. Also here, Luke is not 11, but he's 13. This is a complete representation of Christ with the 12 disciples, including himself. So that was a sense of wholeness right there. This is what I mean. And that, where it is in direct relation with Luke, for instance, is that he was able to go to because water as well. So if we are looking at Luke, Luke is 13. This is where harmony, agreements, are formed. Like on the table, you could imagine that Christ was on the table with his disciples, and they were having these conversations where Christ said, anytime you eat of the bread, this is my flesh. Anytime you drink of the wine, this is my blood. So you can imagine there was no other time recorded that could have been more crucial or more potent or more significant. That is the bedrock on what Christianity is based, we could say. And that each time you do this, well, although they would rather not consider it as a ritual, but it is a ritual that Christ was conveying. You do this. As often as you do this, I am there. So if you really want to make sure that Christ is there, you keep doing this. Every time you do it, you remember. There's the thing. He says, remember. There is the thing called member. Then you are actually proclaiming that you are a member of Christ in that sense. You are a member of the body of Christ. That you are acknowledging that. So he's not saying that you are not, but he's asking you to remember that you are a member of that five-pointed star, the Christ. Christ, when we do the numerical value for the word Christ, it equals 5, which we all are. Okay, so this is 5. Okay, I've done this. So back to her is that then we have the gypsy. In fact, I've got these 7 here, and I had the idea by doing the presentations of realizing that within is 8, okay, 5 as Eve, the waters, that equals 5. Let's put it this way, where I have got it right here, the waters, and out. So meaning we are the waters who that has been projected out. So the waters, which is 5, and we being out, which equals the out is the light. 11 equals light. When we do the numerical value for light, I love this. I just love this. I so love this. It is just so delicious. That's what I mean about food. So we are talking about, whenever we talk about the apple with Eve and Eve ate of the fruit, I don't quite get it. One part of the scriptures, everybody tells you that God said or Christ said, by the fruits you shall know them, meaning behavior. Not necessarily when you go and pick an apple or a mango or an orange, it's said by the fruits you shall know them, yet people hang on to the idea that when the fruit was used in the Old Testament, that it is a literal fruit that was the external palatable, digestible food that what we call food, like being on a plate. Instead of also seeing that it also holds the same vibration or meaning as though it were the behavior. And by the behavior, by the action, the act, 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 1, 3, 2. That gives us 6. So this coincides with our number 6, where men are in the middle, where 5 is. Okay, but we were going to do light, Light. This is light. And when we do the numerical value for light, which is 28793, this is 10, 17, 17, 18, 19, 26, and 3 is 29. 2 plus 9 equals 11. So the light was pulled out of the darkness, out of 10. Now there's another way of doing this as well. If 2 was pulled out of 10, that means 7 would be remaining. There's that as well. So, but of course, because of the darkness, we can't see the whole 7, where the other 2, but something has just come to mind. We can see that we have two of these. So this, what we call the male. There's the male or female hair, female. And then we would have the male hair. We could say that. Okay, so male would be like this, protruding, and female would be like this. Okay, so we can see how the other two, basically it's saying that 5, and we have shown how 5 is double anyway. There's double. And this also, it's amazing because when I started these presentations today, which is the 9th, 9/11, that's why I'm firing on all cylinders. 9/11. So there was the vibration of two fives, and I thought, oh, that means it's telling us about two fives. That vibration is doubled. Okay, so basically, and we see that the two fives are here. This is five, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So basically, Eve is here, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. So Eve was the waters, which we have seen. Waters equals 5. But we have also seen how Eve has 8. Eve ate is really consists of the act of eating is in the mouth. We also see that the tongue equals 10. When we do the numerical value for the word tongue, it equals 10. It's in the mouth. When we do the numerical value for the word teeth is 20. So we see how 1 and 1 is 2. So there we see, 20 on the screen right now, 2046. So tongue, Tongue, because it's 20 minutes, I'm not going to go over this again, but tongue is 10 equals 10, and teeth, TEETH, which is 8, 2, 5, 5, 2. So this is, in fact, 22. I'm glad I did teeth as well, which is 22 equals 4. So we have seen how 4 is actually also part of 8, because when we do sky, for instance, or the earth, which is green, and we do the sky, which is blue, we can see how 4 falls on either side of this, which we call 8. So there is 4 here and 4 here. Okay. And of course, so we this is subject to continue on 21 minutes double four. Okay. Thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this. I hope you find this fun. Do like and subscribe and share, because this is how we do it. We share to actualizing self-full love. Stay blessed, stay bright, be a field, because we are planting new seeds, and spill over with love.